while neuroscience is growing very fast, it's still developing as a field. And if we're ever going to truly understand the brain, it needs new generations of scientists to come through, not just with inquisitive, open minds and great research ideas, but also the ability to test them experimentally. So while many of you may only be at the start of your careers, I think that you being here is a great sign that you really want to be a part of this new generation. And to fascinate and inspire you on this journey, we put together this conference.
There's still a limit to what we can do. I think there's something fundamentally we're missing in the code. There's something there that we don't understand.
You know, you don't have to be a neuroscientist to recognize that research on the brain is one of the most, perhaps the most challenging and interesting, fascinating areas of science that's around these days. And in some ways you could argue that our present state of knowledge of neuroscience, despite all the glamorous kit, all the scanners and the confocal microscopy and the optogenetics and so on, actually our understanding is very primitive. We don't even know really what the big questions are that we should be asking. And one way that's a bit daunting. In other ways, it's really very exciting to be in at the beginning, really, the beginning stages of a newer area of science. I'm interested in vision, I'm interested in perception, because I'm interested in human experience. And that magical transition between a bunch of neurons and an eye and an ear and stuff going on and impulses and seeing the world and hearing the world seems to me to be just a remarkable scientific challenge to understand that.
So the reason I'm interested in brain injury is because it's a huge privilege to work in this field. Brain injured patients aren't like other patients who lose their arm or leg. It affects who they are and it affects their family, it has a bigger social economic impact. And it's not like any other injury. And I think if we can make small differences in brain injury, that can make a massive difference to that person. It might be the difference between them going back to work or requiring constant care. And everything we can learn, whether it be through science or whether it be through the pre-hospital care of these people, the hyper-acute care, I think will make a difference.
I want to make a few promises. I shall not mention multiphoton microscopy. I shall not name a single gene. I will not talk about optogenetics. You might say, how on earth am I going to give a talk on neuroscience if I don't mention those sorts of things? But what I want to try and do is remind you of the big picture. That's what neuroscience is really about in the end. Distant horizon of neuroscience, and that is to explain us, what the brain does that kind of gives us our experiences, enables us to live our lives, to make our choices, to act on the world. And a central part of that bigger picture is the way in which our senses and our perception allow us to derive some level of understanding of the outside world and of ourselves as well. And that's essential for any kind of subsequent plan of action.